Another update of Beyond Canon. This is the one from November 16th of 2023. So before we get to that, we have a news post from October 30th of that year called Patreon Launch and FAQ by James. Hi, James here. Today, we've officially reopened the Patreon for new subscribers. If I were a YouTuber, here is where I'd edit in children cheering sound effect. For current subscribers, first and foremost, thank you for staying with us. I'm excited to show you all the cool stuff we've been cooking. New content should go up on the 1st of November and will include a lot of commentary and behind-the-scenes art. As mentioned on various other outlets, I wanted to take some time to address some of the more frequent questions we've been asked. I'm going to have to go through and start reading some of the commentaries and stuff now. I'm not going to record them, obviously, because I don't feel... It's Patreon content, so I don't think that would exactly be proper etiquette. But on my own time, I'm going to have to go start reading some of the commentaries. That would be interesting. So an FAQ. Why drop squared from the name? In the original outline, it was just called Homestuck Beyond Canon. Andrew mentioned the old team pushed for the squared, but this isn't actually a sequel in the traditional sense. Functionally, it serves to distinguish this as a new production. Production? I sweet bro and hella Jeffified that sentence. It serves to distinguish this as a new production, but also I just thought it sounded better. It's interesting. This isn't a sequel in the traditional sense. I guess that's true. It also kind of is, but it isn't. Yeah. What a fucking weird franchise this is. Like, actually think about it. Isn't this a fucking weird franchise? How much communication is there between you and the old team? Will the story follow their outline? Will it follow Andrew's outline? We do not have much contact with the previous directors, if any. I have not spoken to many of them in years on account of everyone having their own life to live. While there seems to be a misunderstanding that I asked the previous lead director to join the project, that is not the case. I did not, and I cannot envision a scenario where it would be appropriate for me to do so. My guess is they were asked in the early days of the hiatus by someone other than me. I did, however, contact the previous lead director to tell them what I'd be doing because I didn't want them to be blindsided by it. I didn't want anybody using it as an excuse to further interrupt their life. In general, I would like this discussion put to rest. I think the current trend of decrying the old team is a waste of time and energy, and I ask you not to do stuff like that for my sake. They were put in a hard spot and tasked with something exceedingly difficult. I understand how important building trust with community is and what an uphill battle it is going to be. I would like to personally reorganize and own up to the fact that many of the decisions and actions of that era hurt a lot of people and created a rift that might never truly be bridged. For my part in that, I am sorry. The post-canon's foundations are built upon a story that we didn't always agree with and had its share of questionable decisions. One team already bore the brunt of trying to build upon it, and here we are, audaciously, in spite of God and man, trying to build upon it again. We are so many steps removed from these choices that needed to be better than they were, that one might ask, why bother at all? We agreed to take up this mantle because, like many of you, we are a team of passionate people who believe in where the story can go. To that point, we are following a few broader strokes of these old outlines that have already been established in the story. We are writing the rest of it from the ground up, building upon the foundation of our predecessors and making something new. Any chances of PesterQuest, especially Dirk and Arati's routes, being relevant to HSBC in the future? I have not read these. I have not read any of PesterQuest. Maybe I'll do that as a series. I don't know if... You don't need to play FriendSim first, right? Because I know FriendSim came out first after Hiveswap, and then PesterQuest came out, and it was just like in the same style as FriendSim, but like they don't have anything to do with each other, right? I could just read PesterQuest without ever going through FriendSim. Confirm that for me, if you would. Anyway, I was talking about a particular story point in the writer's room recently before there was too much confusion. It's not a physical place, just a Discord channel. And the consensus is we do not want to make it necessary to consume paid content to understand the story. Are they relevant? Yes. Are they essential? No. There is already at least one reference to PesterQuest in what I've been calling the prologue, the original Homestuck 2 chapters. I wrote it in a fit of self-indulgence. Will the bonus updates continue? I think we would like to fold them into the main story in some way. As I mentioned in the previous answer, it felt unfair to paywall content that could be relevant. There's a big opportunity to do so that will happen later in the story, and we all really loved them, so I hope so. Can you tell us what's going on with HiveSwap? Many of us who worked on HiveSwap did so as freelance contract workers. Am I legally allowed to tell you what I know about HiveSwap's production? No, I am under an NDA. But also, if I'm being frank, I just don't really know. I'll get a little more into that in the next question, actually. Oh my god. I do know that they've recently, like I said, it's 2025 right now. And I think like last summer, they talked about bringing a few more people onto the HiveSwap Act 3 team. And I guess that's back in production again. I don't fucking know. I still haven't played HiveSwap. I know I need to do that at some point, but I might kind of just wait to see if it's actually going to be a real thing again in the future, but I know I have to get to it at some point. Now that you own the rights to Homestuck, what are your merch plans? Will you make blank? What about the books? Will you ever bring back blank? For some clarification, I do not own Homestuck. The HICU has legally acquired a license from the creator of the IP to work with the property and monetize it. On top of this, Andrew has asked me to officially finish the story and given me complete creative control over its direction. These are two separate but important points. I was asked to do this, then we tirelessly worked at finding a way to allow us to do it and pay the people who are doing it. So, the HICU was born. Before I get too carried away, let's talk merch. We are allowed to make merch and sell it. We have the legal rights to do so. We want to. We have talked about a number of things we want to make. This will take time and will cost money. Some of the ideas we've kicked around include apparel, collectibles, and physical album releases. Will all of these happen? I'm not sure, but I would like them to. I'm currently in talks with some people about a best of Homestuck collection on vinyl, but we'll need to contact each musician individually to sort that out before we can proceed. Now, since this post, they put out the little car cat plush, which is fucking adorable and stupid, and we have one sitting over there on the bed, and I love him. And also, this has nothing to do with the HICU because he just put it out completely by himself, but Homestuck came out like a couple months ago, which was Michael Guy Bowman, who, I mean, he made fucking Suburban Jungle, like, big deal, right? He made How Do I Live? Lots of early classics. He put out an album of all of his Homestuck music, which was really awesome. Since I do not make the Homestuck books, I do not know what is happening there. There have been some changes, but I do not know the details because I am not actually like the new CEO of Homestuck or anything. It's not that I won't tell you, it's just that I don't know because I only know what is going on with HICU stuff. Similarly, because we weren't the ones who made the old merch, there isn't really much I can do in terms of bringing it back, but maybe we could make a better version of it. If you want to see some of the old stuff, maybe hit up Topatico. They recently started reprinting some of the old shirt designs. Neat. If it was a For Fans by Fans product, you might just be completely out of luck. I don't think that company exists at all anymore. What I think happened is Good Smile US acquired their overstock at some point and was just selling stuff until they ran out. Topatico is actually where I got my Dave Strider shirt. I did a Dave Strider cosplay at a con, and Topatico by that point was selling Homestuck stuff again, so I was able to just get the Dave Strider shirt from there, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I also, that's another thing, the books. I missed my chance because Viz was publishing the books, and I remember seeing them at Barnes & Noble a couple times, but that was before I was into Homestuck. And then by the time I was getting into Homestuck, Viz had already pretty much dropped the IP, and the books weren't really being circulated very much at all anymore. So it's unfortunate. I missed my shot. I'm sure I could probably find some of them on eBay. I kind of want to get the Epilogues book. That thing is pretty fucking cool. Fix blank. Are you going to retcon blank? Will blank get a redemption arc? When will we see blank again? Etc. I see a lot of you chuckleheads out there saying, make this ship canon or put this character back in the comic. And it genuinely warms my heart to see people who are so passionate about this thing they love. That's who I'm doing this for. Though most of these questions, and I use that phrase very generously, can be answered by simply asking you to wait and see. But there are a handful of questions I had avoided answering on social media because I felt they needed appropriate thought and care in order to answer them in a satisfying way. I'm sorry if this seemed like I was dodging talking about some of the more sensitive and important concerns people had. The short answer to this is we want to resolve these things in these threads in the story. Please let me explain this a little. To reiterate what I said a few questions up, post-canon's foundations are built upon a story we didn't always agree with, had its share of questionable decisions. One might ask, why bother at all? We agreed to take up this mantle because, like many, you were a team passionate people who believe in the story. It can go. I know there were more than a few of sort of baffling decisions made by the people that came before us, but I think just ignoring them entirely and retconning the parts of it that are actually in the text already wouldn't be satisfying for anybody. It's a quick fix for a larger problem. We love these characters. I do not want to punish them for existing or turn them into one-dimensional, tasteless joke. I think the only way to give these issues a satisfying resolution is going to be to handle them with the delicacy and care they deserve. These characters are in the hands of people who genuinely care about how they fit into their world. We are tirelessly working at handling these decisions in a satisfying and respectful way. This will take time, but I know it will be worth it. If you still have your doubts, I think that's fair. As I've said before, it is going to take a lot of effort on our part to mend the ties between us and the fandom, but I think we all want that. All I can ask is that you please give us a chance to try and resolve these threads in story in a way that is exciting and satisfying for the readers and writers alike, but also respectful to the experience of the characters. Which I assume is probably mostly talking about Candy timeline stuff, because that's mostly what people had a problem with, is everything involving Yiffy, Jake being kind of flanderized into a, like, puddle of his own pity and, like, patheticness, and Jane becoming, like, a rapist dictator. Now, I've said before, I don't really mind how fucking stupid Candy is, because it feels like part of the point of that timeline. That was always my read from the beginning, was like, Candy is supposed to be batshit insane. These characters are awful and batshit insane. That's fine. But I don't know. Maybe they're not talking about that. Maybe they're, I don't know. That's kind of what I was talking about being worried about, though, is like, I don't, if it's handled in story in a way that, like, is, yeah, in the world resolved, then that's fine. But I don't want these characters to just suddenly go back to the way that they were, because that kind of, to me, defeats the entire purpose of what they were trying to do there. You know? So, how much of the story is plotted out? A lot of it. This one wasn't actually that interesting of an answer, but I understand how important it is to be clear about these sorts of things. Will there be regular updates? Yes, updates will be once a month. We are hoping to up this number in the future, or at least make the updates a little more robust. Since we are telling a story in narrative pieces instead of a chapter-based format, sections will have varying length. We also want to try different ways of updating too. Maybe one page at a time, like old school Homestuck. Maybe posting it in chunks once a week. Personally, I think if they got essentially like a season of the comic done and then posted a little bit weekly, I feel like that would be really good for sort of like the momentum of the hype and like keeping people coming back each week, because once a month is fine, but I think, you know, weekly is like the perfect balance between, it's not so frequent that you need to be like at all times just chugging away at getting out pages, but it's also not far enough away that people are going to like sort of dip in interest before coming back to it. I don't know. That's just the way that I see it. Is like, if this was updating once a week, I would personally like that the most. But I also know that that's not exactly realistic to just like ask for. Like, yeah, why don't you just fucking update it once a week, fuckers? Like, but not weekly updates the same size as the monthly updates are. I'm saying like if they made like a month's worth of stuff and then just put out like a quarter of it a week, that could be kind of good, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe actually it would kill the pacing to do that instead of just putting out like a narrative section a month. Either way, I mean, I think they've remained basically on the monthly schedule since posting this. Maybe there's been like twice a month, every once in a while, or something like that. But yeah, it's been pretty regularly like that since then, I'm pretty sure. Can I buy a license too? Yeah, I wanna write Homestuck. Can I write Homestuck? No, this was a special circumstance, but don't lose hope yet. I don't control this or the speed at which it all happens, but there are plans to expand into other things as well. This will take a lot of time, and we are just barely getting started. And while I can appreciate the hustle, please do not send me your projects until I ask for them. Well, are there at least plans for more projects? Yes, this is the ultimate plan of the HACU. HICU. We'd like to expand into other things as well. What I don't want to do here is overpromise and underdeliver. Will we do X? Will we do Y, Z? I would love to, but for now, we're focused on HSBC and some community outreach. As Yoshi P, if you know, you know, is so fond of saying, please look forward to it. That's the fucking Final Fantasy 14 guy, right? I think so. How could I join the HACU? Is the HSBC team hiring? I don't want you to get too excited, so I'll be frank with you. We are not currently in open recruitment and have the manpower we need for now. If we were to bring on more people, there is already a short list of people I'd choose. I've had a lot of people say they want to volunteer, but I'm very careful and selective about who I bring on this team because it's important to me I can trust them implicitly. However, without getting into the spoilers of it in the future, there will be an opportunity for guest artists to be brought on. One of the things I'm already sort of mentally establishing a shortlist for are things like the Patreon awards, illustrations for the forecomas, etc. I also want to see about putting an album together, but again, I am not at the stage where I am doing that yet. I will let you know. It will not be for a while. Is there any plan to fix the old Homestuck pages? Fortunately, I don't know. That's not really under my team's umbrella. I don't actually know who to be the one to fix that. What Pokemon would Riska have? Somebody asked me this is a joke on Reddit. I've been thinking about it all day. I don't know enough about Pokemon to answer this in a meaningful way, but I defer to Haven, who had the following save. Riska would have a Zacian because it's a legendary, it's blue, it's overpowered as shit, and its Pokedex number is 888. That sounds right. I don't know shit about Pokemon, so I'm just going to have to take that at face value. This one, though, God, what a fucking sad state of affairs the official Homestuck page is in. I mean, the official Homestuck website is in right now. The fact that a third-party app is like the only real way to experience Homestuck is so fucking sad. Viz fucking dropped the ball on that. I know that everybody kind of shits on them and it's kind of beating a dead horse, but God damn it, dude. It's been several years now. I wish something could be done about that. I hope it is eventually. On to the update. We're going from page 476 to page 496. Jake eavesdrop. Gads, what a despicable plan devised by a devilish dame with a dastardly disposition, the wretched wiles of a wayward woman with a penchant for the wicked, a hullabaloo most hideous and heinous hammered out by— No! Enough. This is some real villain shit and you won't stand for it. Sure, you've been complacent a few times, maybe you've kept quiet every now and then when shit got a bit spicy, but this is something different. You can forgive a little bit of spousal roughhousery and xenophobia, but you draw the line at endangering the lives of your friends, your son. In these delicate times, she is bringing a spark to the gunpowder fight. That is a perfect phrase, and you might write that down for later. Someone's really got to do something, and that someone's got to be you. It is imperative that you convey the urgency of this matter to the appropriate parties. It's risky, but you don't have the luxury of lollygagging around. Protocol be damned. I really do love this art style. It's so dynamic. It's so fucking, like, the shapes in play, the like perspective is so good in these panels. I don't know whose art this is, but I fucking love it. It stands out so much. Under no circumstances can you allow her to get to the point. Did you get all that? Mina. Recipient unclear. What was that, someone? Over. We don't have time for this. We don't got time for this who, over? Gosh, Sonnet. Sonnet. We don't have time for this, big kahuna. We don't have time for this, big kahuna. What, over? We don't have time for this, big kahuna.
Over!
Oh, yeah, we got all that.
You didn't say over. Over.
Oh, she looks so fucking good. Yeah, that shit is a real pain in the fins to be doing through a whole convo, LMAO.
Oh, good grief! Jane's got us in a soup! We need to focus!
Is Finn's ass? What? Oh, okay. I was so fucking confused by that. Is Finn's ass?
Fuck, I mean blind. Obviously it's ass.
Are you talking to some?
No!
Right? Damn. But for real, why are you calling me to shell me what I already know? You know we caught a whole fish Tim.
Sakes alive! This is a matter of dire importance. Where's Roxy? She needs to know about this.
Oh, she ain't here.
Shit, Sergeant. Can't you add her to the group crab?
Group crab? God damn, that's good. I've just been calling them Pomfret's calls. Anyways, if you don't answer if it's from me, still mad about what happened at Ferry Anderson's wriggling party of it. Whole party was based on some old ass human movie. How's I supposed to know the float for the kid?
Mina, we...
Later I found out one of the float guys' names was literally Pierce something. It's like they were asking for it.
Mina!
It's been sweeps, let it go.
Mina! Jane's legion of goons is lining up to blast the sweetheart's back door.
Ew. Man, as dire as the situation is, you really can't deny that it is quite the thrill to use these little spy gadget doohickeys. Kind of like Agent J in Men in Black when he... Actually, hold that thought.
Focus, Jake. You're on a mission, for God's sake. There's no time for fanciful dilly-dallying.
Doing your damned bestest to refrain from fondly regarding classic alien invasion / secret spy movies, you urgently pull up Roxy's contact and add her to the call. Jakey, eggs and bakey.
Dally-o, bitch.
Oh, hell nah. And the little skull monster swimwear in the back there. Hi, skull monster. I know you know their name.
Mamma mia, Rox. I don't know what the argy-bargy is between the two of you, but you gotta stop picking up your phone.
Wait, fuck, Mamma mia, that was it. I forgot the name of the shit until just now. Jake Kingfish here was talking about how you're still mad at me about that party. Oh my god, don't start with this shit again. I just think you were being a little juvenile about how it all went down. Oh, so you think now.
Roxy, this is important. Jane's ready to send you to Abraham's bosom over this plot point hoopla.
What? She knows? Your shit's been compromised. You've probably got goons surrounding your whole operation, watching your every move. Couldn't be me. You know what? I can deal with underlings, no problem. If it comes to it, you can deal with Bad Bitch 2.0 herself. What will you do when you and everyone you know are collateral damage in a wake? What, suddenly you're not too busy playing house and being indecisive to care about the rest of the world's problems? Janie can't be that far gone, right?
Jane's been that far gone for dog's age. If we let her get to the point, it'll be curtains for everything the revolution has been working towards.
What does she even want with it? I don't know. But hypothetically speaking, if I was posted up in my big mean bitch pants just getting my empress on, and you tell me my insurgents were trying to shore up on some kind of mythic Skyan artifact, I'd swipe that shit from my shelf. And then say it was on my idea in the first place so nobody could argue against kissing my ass forever. Just as a friendly warning, figure trout, whatever sea beef you got with me internally, it's so fucking hard to read her dialogue.
Sea beef? Dude, these are barely even puns anymore.
Otherwise, we all drown together. I really hope it doesn't come to that. You can hope all you want, but no matter what, whoever takes credit for this comes out on top. And sometimes living isn't enough. People like your Janie have to win.
Fuck.
Oh, speaking of Janie.
Jay, where are you? I've been doing work calls all morning and you were supposed to be my water boy. Yet, Nowhere are you to be found, and I'm left in a stalemate with possibly poisoned cup on my desk. I'm parched, Jake, and it's faffing up my fucking schedule. We are mobilizing you, Bobo. This whole pointless conflict be over and done with this time tomorrow, and how we handle ourselves this next few hours will decide everything. But here I am, chapped up and dried out. The camera crew meandering around with their thumbs up their asses, crucial information going unreported. And who are we waiting on? Man of action, Jake fucking English.
What the fuck is this? Vriska. Bimp. You are now fuck. You are now Vriska. Vriska, strike a pose in case shit gets real or if anybody is watching. The thanks for playing is still in. That's so fucked up that that's just always there. Vriska! Well. Looks like bingo let out early. Oh man, I found you just in time. I needed to come back with me and... Wait, how are you already free? And why are you covered in leaves? Leaves. Are you supposed to be in the clutches of Jane or something? John, do you really think I would need you to bust me out of some rinky-dink operation like that? Escaping some cushy human prison is grub's play to me. They didn't even try to torture us. Even my protege managed to free herself with a sad excuse for a facility. Oh. Wait, Rose's kid was here with you? That's what I said. Try and keep up, Crypt Keeper. Okay, well, if you'd stop shaking your head and looking at me... If you'd stop shaking your head and look at me, you know I'm rolling my R's... My... What did I say? You know I'm rolling my eyes so hard right now. Anyway, where do I begin? Okay, so Roxy has a secret lair that's for some reason hidden underneath our old bed. The world is gonna fall apart. What else? Oh, there's this thing you called the plot point? Yeah, I know. You know? Yes, I know. Oh, what else do you already know? John, focus. Can't have you holding me back just because you're slow and old now. Oh, ease up, Egbert. Okay, fine. Wait, hold up, back up. Frisky's gone? You are really getting caught up in the minutia, aren't you? Please don't tell me you guys were trying to escape through a tunnel crossing a water pipe and she sacrificed herself by sealing the pipe closed from the outside, giving you a chance to escape. What the hell are you talking about? No, you know what? Don't answer that. It's from a show. John, she's a Vriska. She can handle herself. I'm sure she can take anything this fake-ass timeline can throw at her. What? Fake? What do you mean? This universe. It's a fake. Fakey, fake. You can say fake as many times as you want. I still don't know what you mean. Please don't tell me none of you have noticed. This whole universe is like someone's shitty RP, and everyone's out of character. None of this reads. Like, who the fuck is Yiffy? Why should I or anyone care? I mean, I don't really get it either, but I had this long talk with Roxy, and that feels relevant to this? Yuck. Don't even want to think about that whole mess. What were you two even thinking with that, by the way? What was setting sail on that dingy schooner of a relationship even going to accomplish? Schooner? Schooner? I don't know. Don't call my marriage a dingy schooner. It was a completely reasonably sized ship. We had our reasons, I am pretty sure. Yeah, you sound super sure about all of this. Making up problems to have problems. So lame. It does sound kind of bad, but that doesn't mean it's fake. Come on. Do you honestly think I spent all that time commanding a kick-ass ghost army to not know a haplessly doomed little world when I see one? I can practically smell it on you. Hey, not this again. I smell completely normal. My odor is well within real John standards. Thank you very much. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Nobody real would say that. You're like a sadder, less interesting version of a guy I kind of like talking to. When was the last time you did anything? I get around. I've been talking to people. I just talked to a new guy on the way. Snore. What happened to the guy that punched me in the face? That guy is right here. He's still me. Okay, wait, that makes me sound way too proud of myself. Sounds like it was like the best thing you've ever done. It was not. You're just weird. Anyway, what I'm saying is, this is just how it's been for a while. Surely you can see that's a problem. Be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley. Ugh. It is true, though. Everything we did felt pretty pointless for a long time. And it would bother me so much. When I was living by myself, I would consider where to go next, except there was no next. Nothing was worth trying for anymore. But Harry is. He's real. As real as a guy can get stuck here. What, like he could magically be more real? Load him up in some silly circus cannon and blast him out of the Mirrorverse? Actually, you might think this is kind of funny. A long time ago, I was supposed to go back and defeat Snore! Your ecto-human guardian sibling or whatever is probably sending a squad of bozos to apprehend your ex as we speak. So I say the less we talk and the sooner we blow this grubsicle stand, the sooner we can get there before we lose access to our shortcut. Yeah, when you spell it out like that, I can see what you... Wait, what? Why didn't you say that earlier? John, this is what I've been doing this whole time. Now come on, Reese there. Oh, I think we go one more. Yeah. Hey, that's not fair. Last one there is a rotten egg, Bert. And after that update, we have one last news post from the day of the update. It is posted by James. Hi, James here. It's another update. First up, thank you for the outpouring of support. I wined and dined the part of the team local to my area to celebrate. That is to say, 5 of us got delivery and sat in my living room and talked about how cool you guys are. We looked at fan art and laughed at posts and shared valuable life experiences. It was lovely and also delicious. That's adorable. On Twitter, we posted some previous from the Patreon awards. We will eventually post these on the site itself, but we want people who are paying for it to have it to themselves for a while. If you are interested in checking them out, there is a link to the Patreon up at the top of this page. Also right here, make this a link to the Patreon, link to the not Patreon. Nothing there will ever be required to continue enjoying the comic for free though, just a lot of fun bonus stuff. This month, we tried going at it without a new post every week to see how that felt. I don't know if I liked it, but the problem arises that there won't always be news to report. Even today's post is a little thin. So I'm thinking maybe 2 a month. How do you guys feel about that? Reply to the Twitter thread or in the Reddit post that usually goes up. I tend to try and read those too on my own time. I wonder if there is a secret third large community out there. Maybe Tumblr? Mysterious. As part of an HICU initiative, we have begun reaching out to a few large communities and fan-driven projects in order to establish more open lines of communication. Hopefully opening these lines of communication will help to set up some new and exciting future collaborations. I'm a little less involved in this part of things since I'm usually overseeing the creative side of things. Our good friend Miles is heading this one up, so please be kind to him. While typically the name of the game here is transparency, since there are other parties involved, it's less up to me than usual. Other parties in this instance don't mean some corporate sponsor or whatever. I mean literally the people we are talking to. Don't worry, it's just common courtesy and not some sort of secret backroom deal. Speaking of backroom deals, how about that update? Have you read it yet? Go read it. Read the update. I love you.